Chapter 1. Meet the Boy Who Loved Computers. Welcome, dear friends. Today, we will start a wonderful journey. You will hear a true story about a boy who dreamed very big. His name is Bill Gates. You will also learn English in an easy way. We will practice listening, reading, and understanding while enjoying his life story. This story is full of lessons about curiosity, hard work, and courage. By the end, you will feel inspired and learn new English words. Bill Gates was not like many other children. Most children played outside, ran with friends, or watched cartoons. But Bill loved computers. He was very curious. He wanted to know how computers worked. He spent hours learning, reading, and experimenting. Some people thought it was strange. "Why do you sit here with a computer?" "Go play," they said. But Bill did not stop. He felt excited when he solved problems. For him, every mistake was a new lesson. Even as a young boy, Bill had big dreams. He wanted to make the world better with technology. He imagined computers in every home and office. At that time, computers were large and rare. Most people could not even touch them. But Bill believed in his idea. He worked hard every day. He learned programming and created small programs. He shared them with friends and teachers. He wanted to see if they worked. Sometimes they failed. Sometimes they succeeded. Each experience taught him something new. You might ask, why are we learning English with Bill Gates' story? The answer is simple. His life teaches us about curiosity, determination, and growth. These are lessons we can use in our own lives. And while we follow his journey, we will see English words, sentences, and expressions in a simple way. You can listen, repeat, and practice. You will improve your English without feeling stressed. You will also feel motivated to try new things and dream big. Think about your own life. What do you like to do? What makes you curious? Some children feel small or ordinary. They think, I cannot do something great. But Bill Gates was once a small boy too. He started with small steps, learning every day. His story shows that even ordinary beginnings can lead to amazing results. Curiosity and ambition can open doors. Small actions, repeated every day, become great achievements. Now, let us move forward. We will see Bill's childhood, his first experiences with computers, and how his curiosity grew. You will learn how small beginnings shape big futures. This is the start of an exciting journey. Are you ready to see the boy who dreamed big and changed the world? Let us begin. Chapter 2. Childhood and Early Curiosity. 1,000 words. Welcome back, friends. Now we will travel to Seattle, a city in the United States. This is where Bill Gates grew up. You will learn about his early life and how his curiosity began. You will see how a small boy's love for learning can grow into great ideas. This part of the story will help you understand new English words while feeling inspired. Bill Gates was born in 1955 in Seattle. He had a comfortable home, a loving family, and good schools. His father was a lawyer, and his mother worked on charity projects. They were kind and smart, and they encouraged Bill to think, read, and explore. From a young age, Bill was very curious. He wanted to know how things worked. When he saw a new machine, he asked questions. When he saw a book, he read it carefully. Most children at that age were busy playing outside or watching cartoons. Bill was different. He wanted to understand the world. Even as a child, Bill liked numbers and puzzles. He enjoyed solving problems. If he found a difficult puzzle, he would spend hours thinking about it. Sometimes he failed many times before finding the answer. Other children might give up, but Bill did not. He loved challenges. For him, mistakes were not bad. They were lessons. Every time he tried again, he learned something new. This is an important lesson for us too. Curiosity and persistence can lead to great success. When Bill was 11 years old, something amazing happened. His school bought a new computer. At that time, computers were rare. Most families did not have them. Most children had never seen a computer before. But Bill was fascinated. He wanted to touch it, press the buttons, and understand it. He quickly learned how to use it. He read every instruction and tried every program. Sometimes he broke the computer or made mistakes in the code. But he did not stop. Each problem was a new puzzle for him to solve. While other children played soccer, went to the park, or watched television, Bill spent hours in the computer room. He learned programming languages, which are the special languages used to tell computers what to do. He experimented with games, calculations, and small projects. He even tried to fix errors in other programs. His teachers were amazed. They saw that Bill had a special mind for logic and creativity. He could think in ways that most children could not. This shows us the power of curiosity. When you explore something you love, you can learn deeply and enjoy the process. Bill also liked books. He read a lot about science, mathematics, and technology. He loved to imagine how things worked in the real world. Sometimes he would build small models or try experiments at home. Even simple things like clocks or small machines interested him. His friends often laughed and said, "Why do you spend so much time with machines?" But Bill ignored the teasing. He followed his curiosity. He understood that learning something new might feel strange to others, but it is valuable. Even in his family, Bill's curiosity was clear. His parents encouraged questions, but sometimes they worried. They wanted him to play outside, make friends, and have fun. But they also saw his focus and determination. They realized that his curiosity was a gift. His father once said, "Bill is different. He wants to know everything, and he works hard. That is special." This balance of support and independence helped Bill grow into a confident learner. At school, Bill often surprised teachers with his ideas. He would solve math problems in unusual ways. He would ask questions that others never thought of. Some children felt jealous or confused by him. Some teachers loved him. Others felt he was too different. This contrast between ordinary students and a curious mind shows an important truth. Being curious and different is not always easy, but it is valuable. Even outside school, Bill's curiosity created small adventures. He would explore libraries, read magazines about technology, and discuss ideas with friends who shared his interest. He learned to think carefully and ask the right questions. He learned that understanding the why behind things is as important as knowing the how. This mindset became the foundation of his future success. However, being curious was not always easy. Sometimes other children did not understand him. Sometimes he felt lonely because he spent more time with computers than with friends. But he learned something very important. It is okay to be different. It is okay to follow your own path. Small challenges and misunderstandings teach us resilience and patience. They help us prepare for bigger challenges in the future. By the time Bill was 13, he had already spent hundreds of hours learning about computers. He was creating small programs and thinking about how to solve bigger problems. His curiosity had become a habit, a daily routine. This habit of exploring, experimenting, and learning would guide him through many challenges later in life. Now we see that Bill Gates's childhood was not ordinary. It was full of curiosity, learning, and small adventures. While other children played outside, he explored a world of numbers, machines, and ideas. This contrast shows us that following your passion, even when it is different from others, can lead to amazing growth. Next, we will see how Bill's curiosity created challenges at school and with friends. We will explore how he learned to overcome obstacles, manage social pressure, and continue following his dreams. His story teaches us that curiosity and persistence are keys to success. Chapter 3: School Life and First Challenges. Welcome back, friends. Now we will look at Bill Gates's school life. You will see how a curious boy faced challenges and learned important lessons. This part of the story will help you practice English and understand how thinking differently can make a big difference. When Bill was in school, he faced many rules. Schools have schedules, lessons, and instructions. Most students follow these rules carefully. They listen to teachers and do exactly what is asked. But Bill sometimes found this difficult. He wanted to understand why things were done in a certain way. If a teacher gave a problem, he did not just follow instructions. He asked questions. Sometimes this confused teachers. "Why are you asking so many questions?" they would say. "Just follow the steps." Bill also had a love for mathematics and logic. He liked numbers, patterns, and problem solving. Math was exciting for him. He could see solutions that others could not. While some students memorized answers, Bill tried to understand the ideas behind them. Sometimes he finished exercises very quickly. Other students looked at him with surprise. Some children admired him, while others felt jealous. This shows us that being good at something can feel both wonderful and lonely. Not everything was easy. Bill sometimes felt doubt. He wondered, am I doing something wrong? Should I just follow the rules like everyone else? He also felt pressure to fit in with other students. Some children teased him for spending too much time thinking and not enough time playing. "You are too serious," they said. "Come and play football." But Bill stayed focused. He learned that following your curiosity is sometimes hard, but it can lead to growth. At the same time, Bill had moments of joy and excitement. When he solved a difficult problem, he felt proud. When he found a new way to understand a concept, he was happy. These small successes gave him energy to continue. They taught him that mistakes are not failure. They are steps to learning. This is a lesson we can all use in our own studies and life. Bill's creativity sometimes clashed with strict school rules. In some classes, teachers wanted students to copy notes exactly. Bill wanted to explore ideas. He asked questions like, "Can we try another method?" Or, "What if we do it this way?" Some teachers appreciated this creativity, and some did not. This contrast shows us an important truth. Following rules is safe, but thinking creatively can lead to new ideas. Both are important, but sometimes creativity feels risky. During these years, Bill also started to feel a responsibility for his learning. He realized that school alone was not enough for him. He wanted to know more. He began to read extra books, solve puzzles, and practice coding whenever he could. His curiosity became stronger than any rules or doubts. Even when he felt misunderstood, he kept learning. He understood that knowledge and practice are the keys to improvement. Social life was another challenge. Bill liked talking about ideas, numbers, and computers, but not all classmates understood him. Sometimes he felt lonely. He wondered why other students did not share his excitement. Yet, he also learned to find friends who had similar interests. He realized that connecting with people who understand you is very important. It helped him stay motivated and confident. One important story from school shows Bill's mindset. In a math competition, many students were nervous. They followed the standard steps and hoped for the best. Bill, however, tried to see patterns and shortcuts. Some judges were surprised. His answers were sometimes different, but correct. He learned that thinking in a new way can be both powerful and risky. This moment taught him confidence and courage, qualities he would need later in life. By the time Bill finished elementary and middle school, he had learned many lessons. He learned how to balance rules and creativity, how to face doubts, and how to keep his curiosity alive. He understood that challenges are part of learning, and being different can be a strength. He had discovered that real learning comes not only from textbooks, but from thinking, experimenting, and exploring ideas. Now, as he moved into his teenage years, Bill's skills began to open doors. His love for numbers and computers turned into new opportunities. Friends and teachers began to notice his talent. Small experiments became larger projects. This is the moment when his curiosity, persistence, and creativity would start to change his life in important ways. Next, we will explore Bill's first real computer experience. You will see how a young boy's curiosity turned into passion and opportunity. You will learn how trying, failing, and trying again can lead to amazing discoveries. Chapter 4: The First Computer Experience. Welcome back, friends. Now, we will explore an exciting moment in Bill Gates' life, his first real experience with a computer. This story will help you practice English while seeing how curiosity and courage can lead to amazing discoveries. You will also learn that it is okay to make mistakes when trying something new. When Bill was 13 years old, his school, Lakeside School in Seattle, got a computer. At that time, computers were very rare. Most families had never seen one. Many people were afraid of them. They looked big, complicated, and mysterious. For Bill, this was exciting, but also a little scary. He did not know much about how a computer worked, but he wanted to try. His heart beat fast when he first saw the machine. The first time he touched the computer, Bill felt nervous. There were many buttons, numbers, and symbols. He pressed keys carefully, hoping nothing would break. At first, he made many mistakes. The programs did not work. Sometimes the computer froze. Other times, he got strange answers. Bill could have given up, like many children might, but he did not. He looked at each mistake as a chance to learn. Every error taught him something new. Bill spent hours exploring the computer. He learned programming languages, which are special instructions that tell computers what to do. He tried writing small programs like games and simple calculations. At first, many programs failed. Some commands were wrong, some programs crashed. But Bill learned to read carefully, think logically, and try again. He discovered that persistence is very important. If you keep trying, even difficult problems can be solved. Soon, Bill met another student who loved computers, Paul Allen. Paul was smart and curious, just like Bill. They became friends and started exploring together. They shared ideas, tested programs, and learned from each other. Sometimes one of them made a mistake, and the other would help. They laughed, discussed, and celebrated small successes. Working together taught Bill that collaboration is as important as curiosity. Two minds can solve bigger problems than one. As Bill gained experience, he began to feel more confident. He could write programs that worked well. He could find errors and fix them. He even began helping other students who wanted to learn. Bill realized that learning something new is not only about personal growth, it can also help others. This early teamwork and sharing laid the foundation for his later projects. However, learning a computer was not always easy. Some teachers did not understand the new technology. Some parents worried that children spent too much time on the computer and not enough time outside. Some friends still preferred games and sports. Bill felt pressure from many sides, but he continued. He believed in exploring the unknown. He knew that the future would include computers, and he wanted to be ready. One important lesson from this time is the contrast between excitement and fear. The computer was new and strange. It could be confusing or intimidating, but it was also fascinating and full of opportunity. Bill's choice to face his fear and try anyway made all the difference. This shows us that when we face something unknown, we should be curious, patient, and persistent. Mistakes are natural, and they teach us how to improve. During this period, Bill and Paul also began small projects outside school. They experimented with programming for local businesses. Sometimes they created programs for fun, and sometimes they helped with real tasks. These small experiences gave them confidence and practical skills. They learned that ideas are important, but action and practice make them real. They discovered the excitement of turning knowledge into something useful. By the end of his first computer experience, Bill had learned many important lessons. He had discovered how persistence, curiosity, and teamwork can help us overcome fear and mistakes. He realized that a small boy with a big imagination can do amazing things. This first encounter with a computer sparked a passion that would grow larger and larger. Next, we will see how Bill and Paul started their first teenage projects. These small experiments led to bigger ideas and ambitions. You will see that when curiosity meets action, small steps can become the start of something great. Chapter 5. Teenage Entrepreneurship. Welcome back, friends. Now, we will see how Bill Gates and his friend Paul Allen began their first business adventures. This part of the story will help you practice English while learning important lessons about ambition, teamwork, and taking risks. You will also see how small steps in teenage years can lead to great achievements. When Bill and Paul were teenagers, they did not spend all their time playing sports or watching television like many other boys. Instead, they worked on computers. They wrote small programs, simple games, calculators, and tools that could help people with tasks. At first, their programs were small and sometimes did not work well. They made mistakes, and sometimes their codes failed completely. But they learned from these failures. Every mistake became a lesson. Even at this young age, Bill and Paul wanted to earn money from their skills. They believed that their ideas could help others. They offered small programs to local businesses. Sometimes the businesses liked the programs, and sometimes they rejected them. Bill and Paul did not feel discouraged. They understood that taking risks is part of learning. Ordinary teenagers might spend money or time on fun alone, but Bill and Paul invested time and energy in their ideas. Their first small successes were exciting. A local store used their program to manage inventory. Another company tried a simple game that Bill and Paul made. The teenagers felt proud. They discovered that their work could have real value. These small projects taught them the importance of quality, attention to detail, and problem solving. They learned that even small ideas can make a difference when executed well. At the same time, they faced challenges. Some programs did not work as expected. Sometimes computers crashed or code had errors they could not fix immediately. But Bill and Paul learned patience. They discovered that persistence and practice are more important than immediate success. Each failure strengthened their skills and confidence. This is an important lesson. Mistakes are not the end. They are steps toward improvement. Teamwork was also very important. Bill and Paul complemented each other. Bill was very fast in thinking logically and writing code. Paul was creative and good at imagining new ideas. Together, they could solve bigger problems than alone. They learned to communicate clearly, share responsibilities, and trust each other. Even teenagers can understand that collaboration makes work stronger and more successful. During these teenage years, Bill and Paul began to think bigger. They did not only want to write small programs, they wanted to create software that could help many people. They discussed new ideas late at night, planning projects and imagining the future. This vision showed the contrast between ordinary hobbies and extraordinary ambition. Many teenagers are happy with small games or fun activities. Bill and Paul were already dreaming about creating something that could change the world. Sometimes their ambition caused tension. Friends and classmates did not always understand them. Parents sometimes worried that they were working too much and missing normal teenage experiences. Bill and Paul felt pressure, but they remained focused. They understood that passion and commitment often require sacrifice. This balance between risk and dedication became an important lesson in entrepreneurship. These small projects also taught them early lessons about innovation. They realized that creating something new is not easy. You must think differently, test ideas, and accept that some things will fail. They learned to observe carefully, improve, and repeat. Innovation is not only about brilliant ideas. It is about practice, learning from mistakes, and improving each day. By the end of these teenage years, Bill and Paul had already earned some money, built useful programs, and gained confidence in their skills. They understood that curiosity, teamwork, and persistence could create opportunities. Small failures became stepping stones, and small projects became the start of a bigger dream. Next, we will see the moment when Bill's focus shifted to a larger dream, starting a company. This was the beginning of a journey that would eventually lead to Microsoft. Chapter 6. Dropping Out and Big Decisions. Welcome back, friends. Now, we will explore a very important moment in Bill Gates' life, the big decision to leave Harvard University. This story will help you practice English while learning about courage, risk, and following your dreams. Sometimes, making bold choices is not easy, but it can change your life. Bill Gates was accepted into Harvard, one of the best universities in the world. Harvard is famous for its excellent professors, strong programs, and brilliant students. Many people dreamed of going there. Bill's family felt proud of him. They wanted him to finish his studies and have a safe, secure future. Harvard offered comfort, prestige, and stability. Most students feel happy to attend. But Bill had a different dream. He wanted to create software and work with computers. He saw that technology could change the world. At that time, computers were becoming more important, and Bill wanted to be part of this change. He realized that staying in college would take time away from building programs and starting projects. He faced a choice: comfort and security, or risk and ambition. Making this decision was not easy. Bill felt emotional tension. He loved learning and respected Harvard. He also wanted to make his family proud, but his heart told him to follow his passion. He knew that opportunities like this might not come again. He thought carefully, weighing the risks and rewards. Ordinary students often choose safety. Bill chose courage. He decided to leave Harvard to pursue his dream. Bill's parents were surprised. They worried about the risks. "Are you sure, Bill?" his mother asked. "What if it does not work?" his father said. They were afraid he might fail, but Bill explained his vision. He wanted to create software, explore new ideas, and make a difference in the world. His family slowly understood. They realized that Bill's passion and determination were strong. Sometimes, supporting a dream is more important than following rules. Leaving Harvard was exciting but scary. Bill felt nervous about the unknown. He was no longer in the safe environment of college. He had to face challenges, competition, and uncertainty. He also felt pressure to succeed quickly. But he believed in his ideas. He understood that risk is part of achieving something great. This moment shows an important lesson. Bold decisions require courage and self-belief. After leaving Harvard, Bill focused completely on his projects with Paul Allen. They had ideas for software that could be used by many people. They experimented, coded, and tested programs. This was a new world of opportunity. Without the structure of college, they could move faster, take risks, and try new things. At the same time, they faced uncertainty. There was no guarantee of success. Bill learned to balance fear and confidence. This decision also taught him responsibility. He could no longer rely on school for guidance or approval. He had to make choices, solve problems, and work hard every day. He discovered that independence comes with both freedom and pressure. Success is not only about talent, it is about discipline, focus, and perseverance. Bill learned that following your dream sometimes means leaving the comfort zone. At this time, Bill also experienced personal growth. He learned to listen to advice but trust his own judgment. He discovered that not everyone will understand your vision, and that is okay. Friends, family, and colleagues may doubt you, but courage and persistence help you continue. He realized that the risk of trying is always smaller than the regret of never trying. The decision to leave Harvard marked a turning point. It showed Bill's commitment to his vision and his willingness to take responsibility for his life. He understood that dreams require action. They require focus, effort, and sometimes sacrifice. Ordinary choices might feel safe, but extraordinary results require bold decisions. Soon after, Bill and Paul began working full-time on their ideas. This decision set the stage for founding Microsoft. It was the first step toward a major success, but also toward challenges and struggles. Bill's choice shows that courage, vision, and belief in yourself are essential for achieving great things. Next, we will explore the story of founding Microsoft, where Bill's ideas and hard work began to grow into a real company. You will see how ambition, teamwork, and persistence can create something extraordinary, even in the face of challenges. Chapter 7. Founding Microsoft. Welcome back, friends. Now we will explore the beginning of Microsoft, the company that would change the world. This story will help you practice English while learning important lessons about teamwork, persistence, and turning ideas into reality. You will see how a small start can grow into something huge with focus and hard work. After leaving Harvard, Bill Gates and his friend Paul Allen decided to start their own company. They wanted to create software that could be used on many computers. At that time, personal computers were still new. Most people did not have them at home, but Bill and Paul believed that computers would be everywhere in the future. Their vision was much bigger than their small beginnings. Starting the company was not easy. They had a small office with few resources. They did not have many employees. Sometimes they worked on old computers and typed code late into the night. They faced many challenges. Writing software takes time and patience. Sometimes their programs did not work. Sometimes clients did not respond or rejected their proposals. Ordinary people might have given up. But Bill and Paul continued. They knew that persistence is essential for success. Bill and Paul worked as a team. Bill was excellent at planning, organizing, and writing code quickly. Paul was creative and thought about the bigger picture. Together, they balanced each other. They learned to communicate, share tasks, and solve problems as a team. This early experience taught them that teamwork can make small efforts powerful. Collaboration, trust, and focus became the foundation of Microsoft. Securing contracts was another challenge. Many companies did not believe that young entrepreneurs could create important software. Bill and Paul had to convince clients that their ideas were valuable. They practiced presentations, explained their programs clearly, and demonstrated their work. At first, some companies said no, but each rejection taught them how to improve. They learned that patience and preparation are keys to winning opportunities. Coding was difficult too. Bill and Paul often worked long hours, sometimes until midnight. They tested programs, fixed errors, and rewrote code many times. At the same time, technology was changing quickly. Competitors were also working on similar projects. Bill realized that speed, quality, and attention to detail were critical. Mistakes could cost time, money, and reputation. This experience taught him the importance of careful planning and persistence. Despite the challenges, they celebrated small victories. Each working program, each satisfied client, and each completed project felt like a major success. These moments gave energy and motivation to continue. They learned that every small step counts toward a larger goal. Even a tiny improvement in software or a small contract could lead to bigger opportunities in the future. The contrast between their small beginnings and huge vision is clear. They started with limited resources, few employees, and simple tools. But they imagined a world where every home and office would use computers. This vision guided every decision, every long hour, and every challenge. Bill and Paul understood that vision without action is only a dream. Action, effort, and persistence turn vision into reality. At this stage, Microsoft became more organized. Bill focused on management and coding, while Paul worked on innovation and strategy. They hired new employees and trained them carefully. Each team member learned the value of focus, creativity, and responsibility. The company grew slowly but steadily. They faced competition, but their persistence and planning helped them stay ahead. These first years taught Bill important life lessons. Success is not immediate. Hard work, careful planning, and teamwork are essential. Challenges are not obstacles. They are opportunities to learn. Even small beginnings can grow into something extraordinary when combined with vision and persistence. Next, we will see Microsoft's first major breakthrough, the partnership with IBM. This deal brought the company to the global stage and tested Bill and Paul's skills like never before. You will see how preparation, courage, and teamwork can turn opportunity into historic success. Chapter 8. The Big Break. Welcome back, friends. Now we will explore one of the most exciting moments in Bill Gates' life, Microsoft's first big break. This story will help you practice English while learning lessons about courage, opportunity, and facing risks. You will see how fear can appear before great success, and how taking action can change the future. In the early 1980s, personal computers were becoming more popular. IBM, one of the largest computer companies in the world, wanted to create a new computer for businesses. They needed software to make it work. Bill Gates and Microsoft saw an opportunity. This could be a huge deal that would bring the company to the global stage. But it was risky. They had never worked with a company this big. They worried about failure, mistakes, and deadlines. Many people thought Microsoft was too small to handle IBM. Competitors laughed at the idea. Bill and Paul felt pressure. If they failed, it could ruin the company. But Bill reminded himself of their vision. He knew that opportunities like this are rare. Fear of failure was real, but he chose to act. He believed that preparation, skill, and persistence could turn risk into success. Negotiating the deal was not simple. IBM wanted strict terms and strict deadlines. They demanded software that worked perfectly. Bill and Paul had to carefully plan every step. They divided tasks, tested programs repeatedly, and worked long hours. Mistakes could be dangerous, but every challenge taught them lessons. They learned the importance of attention to detail, careful communication, and staying calm under pressure. At first, coding the software was difficult. Some programs did not run correctly. Bugs appeared, and some days felt like failure. Bill and his team had to stay focused, troubleshoot, and improve the work continuously. They learned that mistakes are part of growth. Each problem solved made the program stronger and the team more confident. This is an important lesson. Facing difficulties prepares us for larger success. Emotionally, the period was intense. There were highs and lows. Some days brought excitement, when a part of the program worked perfectly. Other days brought stress, when errors appeared or deadlines approached. Bill felt both fear and hope. These feelings are normal for anyone chasing big goals. He learned to manage them, stay focused, and keep his team motivated. Finally, Microsoft completed the software on time. IBM was impressed and agreed to the deal. This contract changed everything. Suddenly, Microsoft was recognized around the world. They had proven that a small, young company could compete with the largest corporations. This success showed the contrast between fear and courage. Those who take action despite fear can achieve remarkable results. The IBM deal also taught lessons about risk and reward. Bill and Paul took a big risk by agreeing to handle such an important project. If they failed, the consequences would have been serious. But the reward was enormous. Microsoft gained credibility, global recognition, and new opportunities. This moment shows that success often requires bold decisions, careful planning, and a willingness to embrace risk. After the deal, Microsoft grew quickly. The company hired more employees and started larger projects. Bill's role became more important. He had to lead the team, make strategic decisions, and maintain focus on the company's vision. The IBM contract also taught him humility and patience. He realized that every big achievement comes from teamwork, planning, and hard work, not from luck alone. The big break is a powerful example for all of us. It shows that fear is natural before important decisions. It shows that mistakes and challenges are part of the journey. Most importantly, it shows that courage, persistence, and preparation can turn opportunities into historic success. Next, we will see Microsoft's growth and Bill Gates' leadership style. You will learn how he managed a growing company, motivated his team, and turned a successful deal into a global empire. This will teach us lessons about leadership, vision, and responsibility. Chapter 9: Challenges and Criticism. Welcome back, friends. Now we will explore a difficult part of Bill Gates' story. After the success of Microsoft, challenges and criticism began. This story will help you practice English while learning important lessons about resilience, humility, and growth. You will see that success does not mean the journey becomes easy. Often, it becomes harder. As Microsoft grew, Bill Gates became famous. People admired his intelligence, ambition, and vision. But success also brought criticism. Competitors watched Microsoft closely. They did not like the company's fast growth and powerful position in the market. Media reports sometimes called Bill arrogant or too aggressive. Some people thought he focused only on money. These comments made him feel pressure and stress. Bill also faced challenges inside the company. As Microsoft grew, it became more complex. He had to manage employees, solve conflicts, and make difficult decisions. Sometimes he made mistakes. Some programs failed, and deadlines were missed. Some employees disagreed with him. These internal struggles tested his leadership. He learned that even successful leaders must listen, reflect, and adapt. Mistakes are not failure, they are lessons. Competition was intense. Rival companies tried to create better software, attract clients, and challenge Microsoft's position. Bill had to stay alert, innovate constantly, and plan strategically. He realized that the market changes quickly. If he became too confident, the company could fall behind. This contrast between arrogance and humility taught him an important lesson. Confidence is necessary, but humility and learning are equally important. Legal issues also appeared. Some companies claimed Microsoft had unfair advantages. Media and public attention increased. Bill faced investigations and lawsuits. These situations were stressful and sometimes discouraging. But he stayed focused. He learned to handle pressure calmly and professionally. He also learned that challenges often teach more than success alone. Difficult moments build resilience, patience, and wisdom. Despite these difficulties, Bill continued to work hard. He spent long hours in the office, checking programs, meeting clients, and planning strategies. He encouraged his team to improve, innovate, and take responsibility. At the same time, he reflected on his actions and decisions. He understood that leadership is not just about making rules. It is about guiding, inspiring, and learning continuously. Bill also faced personal criticism. Some people thought he cared only about business. They did not know about his curiosity, intelligence, and careful thinking. At times, this hurt him emotionally. But he learned an important lesson. Others' opinions are not always correct, and they should not stop you from your vision. Focus and determination are stronger than doubt or judgment. During these years, Bill began to understand the balance between success and responsibility. Success brings power, influence, and wealth, but it also brings scrutiny, expectations, and challenges. He realized that resilience is essential. Mistakes, failures, and criticism are natural in any journey. Learning from them is what creates long-term growth. Even with legal issues, competition, and media scrutiny, Bill continued to innovate. Microsoft released new products, improved existing software, and expanded worldwide. Bill learned to combine focus, creativity, and strategic thinking. These experiences strengthened his leadership skills and prepared him for larger goals. Bill's story during these challenges teaches a universal lesson. Success is not the end. Challenges will always appear. Facing them with humility, persistence, and resilience is what creates lasting achievement. Mistakes, criticism, and pressure are opportunities to learn, improve, and grow stronger. Next, we will explore Bill Gates's personal growth and his vision for helping others. You will see how a successful businessman turned attention from profit to philanthropy. This part of the story will teach lessons about generosity, responsibility, and creating a positive impact in the world. Chapter 10. Philanthropy and Giving Back. Welcome back, friends. Now we will explore an inspiring part of Bill Gates' life, his focus on helping others. This story will help you practice English while learning lessons about generosity, purpose, and using your success to make the world better. You will see that true achievement is not only about wealth, but about positive impact. After many years of building Microsoft, Bill Gates began to think deeply about the world. He had achieved great success, earned enormous wealth, and gained global recognition. But he asked himself an important question. How can I use my knowledge and resources to help people? He realized that true happiness and fulfillment come from giving, not only receiving. Bill and his wife, Melinda, created the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Their goal was to improve health, education, and opportunity for people around the world. They wanted to help those who were less fortunate, giving them a chance to live better lives. This decision showed a contrast between simply accumulating wealth and using it for a meaningful purpose. Money can be powerful, but its true value is in how it helps others. The foundation worked on many important projects. One example is fighting diseases that affect millions of people, such as malaria and polio. Many children in developing countries were at risk of sickness and death because of limited resources. Bill and Melinda invested in vaccines, medicine, and research. They also improved sanitation and access to clean water. By doing so, they saved countless lives. Education was another focus. The foundation supported schools, libraries, and educational programs. Bill understood that learning is the key to opportunity. By helping children and adults gain knowledge, the foundation gave them tools to succeed in life. Many students who never had access to books or computers received support through these programs. Bill believed that education can change the future, one person at a time. Philanthropy also meant listening and learning. Bill and Melinda worked with local communities, governments, and experts. They studied problems carefully before acting. They discovered that giving is not just about money, it is about understanding needs and creating solutions that last. This shows an important lesson. Meaningful action requires thought, planning, and empathy. At first, some people did not understand why Bill gave so much of his wealth. They questioned whether he could make a difference. But Bill believed that small steps, taken wisely, can create big change. Over time, the foundation's work became known worldwide. Millions of lives improved, and communities gained access to healthcare, clean water, and education. This shows that purpose and persistence together produce extraordinary results. Bill's work in philanthropy also taught him humility. In business, success can make a person feel powerful, but helping others reminds us that every life matters. Bill learned that giving is not about recognition. It is about impact. He showed that true leadership includes caring for others, thinking beyond personal goals, and working for the common good. Through the foundation, Bill and Melinda inspired others to give back as well. They encouraged wealthy individuals, corporations, and communities to join efforts. Philanthropy became a movement, proving that one person's vision can influence many. This teaches a universal lesson. Everyone can contribute to a better world, no matter their age or resources. Bill Gates' shift to philanthropy shows the contrast between wealth accumulation and purposeful giving. He had the ability to live comfortably for the rest of his life. Instead, he chose to work tirelessly to improve lives worldwide. His story reminds us that real success is measured not by what we keep, but by what we give. Next, we will reflect on the lessons from Bill Gates' life. You will see how curiosity, courage, persistence, and generosity combine to create a meaningful journey. These lessons can inspire your own path, both in learning English and in pursuing your personal goals. Chapter 11. Conclusion. Lessons from Bill Gates' life. Welcome back, friends. Now, we will reflect on the life of Bill Gates and the lessons we can all learn. This story will help you practice English while thinking about curiosity, courage, persistence, and giving back. Bill's journey shows us that ordinary choices lead to ordinary results, but extraordinary choices can change the world. From his childhood, Bill taught us the power of curiosity. While other children played outside, he explored computers, numbers, and ideas. His curiosity opened doors to new knowledge and opportunities. This shows that asking questions and exploring your interests is the first step toward growth. Even small questions today can lead to big discoveries tomorrow. Persistence is another lesson. Throughout school, teenage projects, and the early days of Microsoft, Bill faced mistakes, failures, and doubts. He could have given up many times, but he kept trying. Every error taught him something new. This shows that challenges are not obstacles. They are chances to learn, improve, and succeed. Courage also played a key role. Bill left Harvard, took risks with his company, and faced competition and criticism. Ordinary people often choose comfort and safety. Bill chose bold action. Courage does not mean being fearless. It means acting despite fear. Taking thoughtful risks can open doors that would otherwise remain closed. Teamwork and collaboration were essential. Bill and Paul Allen shared ideas, supported each other, and solved problems together. Later, Bill led teams at Microsoft and worked with experts in philanthropy. These experiences show that cooperation makes vision stronger. We achieve more when we combine skills, share knowledge, and encourage others. Finally, Bill's life teaches the value of giving back. After immense success, he focused on helping others through the Gates Foundation. True achievement is not only measured by wealth, but by the positive impact we create. Purposeful actions, compassion, and generosity make our journey meaningful. By looking at Bill Gates' story, we see a clear contrast between ordinary and extraordinary choices. Ordinary choices may feel safe, but extraordinary choices, curiosity, persistence, courage, teamwork, and generosity, create lasting impact. These lessons are not only for business, they apply to learning English, personal growth, and life itself. Dear friends, remember that your own journey can be inspired by these principles. Ask questions, keep learning, face challenges bravely, collaborate with others, and help those in need. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Your choices today can shape a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for learning English and exploring this story with us. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and discover the amazing lessons hidden in stories of real people. Every story is an opportunity to improve your language and your life. Keep learning, keep dreaming, and keep taking action.